Hey everyone, Exile here, and welcome to Inhuman Resources, which is an interactive horror fiction currently available with the demo version on Steam Next Fest, which is the version that I'm going to be playing. So I'm going to be playing this for 30 minutes or for how long the demo will allow me to play. Please enter your name. It's fine. I can go with Finnegan Joyce. Sure, why not? I will leave on the description the link for Steam page so you guys can have all the information about the game, read the wishlist, and play the game. And of course, consider to subscribe the channel because it helps a lot what I do here. There are three deaths. The first is when the body ceases to function. The second is when the body is consigned to the grave. The third is that moment sometime in the future when your name is spoken for the last time. David M. Eggleman. Okay. The phone call. An all too familiar screeching reverberates inside your brain. Okay. The noise comes in waves. The pain follows suit. You try your best to ignore both, but the mere fact you've acknowledged the awful sound means it's all already won. Your phone's alarm is simply much too loud to ignore. Defeated, your eyelids peel apart like sheets of rotting Velcro, blinking back a bad night's blearily haze. You lie in bed, awake, against your consent. The room is almost pitch black, save the intermittent flashing of your phone's screaming screen. Oh gosh, I know very well that sensation. A rancid, if routine stench of unwashed bed sheets bids you a bittersweet good morning. You're home, for better or worse, mostly the latter these days. Just once, you wish you'd wake up somewhere else instead. Just once, you wish Simon would ask permission before racing ahead. But your phone doesn't care about what you want. The insufferable screeching drills deeper into your skull. You throw back your dirty blankets, blindly reaching for the misbegotten beast. Pick up the phone. Oh. Pick up the phone. The slab of smudged plastic feels comfortable in your palm. Most call the device ancient, but to you, it's cozy and familiar, like an old, if outdated friend. No oversized touchscreen, no fancy graphics card for mobile games, no constant access to SO or SOG network. Just a simple tool with a cute antenna that still allows you time to disconnect. You've always appreciated the old and the analog, despite the wider world's obsession with digitalized progress. They're sincerely in physicality, a warmth to an object weight. You'll cling to this relic as long as you can, sensible upgrades be damned. Old cell phone you have acquired. Okay? You fiddle with the phone, desperate to stop the alarm, but no matter which button you press, the squeaking will not end. That's because this isn't your alarm at all. It's your ringtone. Squinting in the darkness, you barely make out the caller's ID. It's your aunt/landlady, technically speaking. Hopefully just your aunt today. The woman is exhausting enough when she isn't asking to rent payments, no matter how overdue they are. Still, should you really ignore a call from the one person still willing to support you between jobs? Oh, the choices really matter here. I like the jazzy vibes of the music, by the way. Okay. Static crackles as your obsolete cell phone struggles to connect. After a sharp click, you mumble a hesitant hello. Ah, your aunt. Hey there, sweetie. Sorry for calling you out of the blue like this. Hope I'm not interrupting lunch. The scratchy, fake smile of her bombastically condescension voice greets you on the line's other hand. No mistaking your dear auntie. But what's this about lunch? You flick on a light and glance towards your microwave LED clock display. A shameful number stares back from the room's abyss. 1:29 p.m. You wince and make up a half-baked lie, pretending to talk with your mouth full. Your aunt doesn't seem to buy it. Well, I'm sure you're very busy with job applications today, so I'll get straight to the point. Do you have any idea when you'll be able to send me last month's rent? I know money's been tight lately, but it's already the 31st. One missed payment is bad enough, but two? Shit, landlady, it is. You feel yourself deflated, glancing to the tower of rejected job applications standing proud and precarious upon your messy desk. The top sheet almost raises your modest apartment ceiling. Your aunt suggested to print each refusal, claiming they'd make your eventual hiring all the more rewarding. You found that harder and harder to believe, ever since the letters started to outnumber the dollars in your bank accounts. Sweetie, do you have some kind of estimate for me? I would really need an answer today. You have no choice, beg for more time to pay. Well, you swallow your pride, it goes down easy. There isn't much of it left. For the 100,000th millionth time you answer, you swear to send your aunt the money the second you get a steady paycheck. Until then, there's no way you can conjure that kind of cash out of thin air. An uncomfortable silence lingers over your phone speaker. After several torturous seconds, a disappointed sigh comes through. Sweetie, I let you rent that place to give you a second chance, not to keep enabling this shameful do-nothing behavior of yours. Honestly, I'd be more than willing to forgive delays if I knew you were actually trying, but you can't expect me to believe you've been pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and giving this job hunt all you've got when you've been living in a pigsty for the past year. Pigsty? You deflect the woman's accusation, blabbering in desperate denial. But as your eyes drift over the sorry state of your apartment, your ramblings soon turn to tragic silence. And even in your fridge. On the floor. On the floor, crumpled stacks of crusty laundry litter the unmopped ground like landmines in an active war zone. At your desk, fly swarm stiff styrofoam containers amalgamate themselves into awkwardly unstable modern art installations. Your largest one can only be referred to as the Leaning Tower of Takeout. Damn. In the kitchen, filthy cookware overflows from your sink, bathed in rancid dishwater. A layer of film has formed on the surface, thick as the crusts of creme brulee. Oh my god, no. Yucky. And even in your fridge, the outdated contraption hums like a thermonuclear lawnmower, even though you know damn well it's not keeping anything cold right now. Maybe ketchup packets if you're lucky. Pixie or not, there's no denying that this whole unemployment business has been taking a serious toll. One that's gone on long enough for your aunt's pity to become well-deserved contempt. Well, but you have to say it for yourself. It's not your fault those stupid companies want to hire overqualified geniuses. Sure. She's right, you're scum, worse than scum. She should just evict you and get it over with. Well, it might be very harsh. You're sick of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. Can someone else pull them for you? You turn yourself into a dramatic tirade, detailing your utter lack of worth, the hopelessness of human existence, and the filthy, trash-strewn ditch you deserve to die in, preferably alone. By the time your haunt gets a word in edgewise, your face is sleek with tears and mucus, your heart tied into painful knots. Enough! I'm sorry, alright? I didn't mean to be so harsh. Now calm down, please. It sounds like she's begging out of irritation then out of worry for your well-being. But you listen nonetheless, taking time to control your breathing and wipe away strings of snot. The phone crackles with warbled noise as your haunt lets out a groan. Good grief. I know this mental health nonsense you keep talking about is a big deal, but you have got to get it together and take action somehow. You can't just keep using mood swings as an excuse to escape responsibility. That choice will get you nowhere. Oh, you have acquired clinical depressed. Listen. You brace yourself as the woman prepares to deliver her most frequent, most frustrating spiel. You could probably repeat it word for words if ever you were held at gunpoint. Remember, sweetie, in our world, choices matter. The big ones and the small ones. We can't always take those decisions back, and we can't control their consequences either. Which means we have to choose carefully. You most certainly have not been doing that, but if you have any intention of getting yourself out of this mess, you need to start making the right decisions, and soon. You hang out your head and nods, gulping down your last trickle of self-respect. Hearing this speech frequently doesn't make it any easier to hear. Anywho, enough of that. The real reason I'm calling is because I might have an opportunity for you. Listen. You can tell by her inflection. She means a job opportunity. Your reaction is practically Pavlovian. You salivate at the thought of your unrelenting financial woes finally coming to an end, and grip the cell phone tighter, aching with anticipation. See, there's this problem employee at our company. He works at one of the local branches, right next to where you live. But the man has a terrible attitude, and he's even more terrible when it comes to, well, whatever it is you think we do over there. You picture her limply waving a wrist in some vague, dismissive pattern. More of the highly confidential stuff she can't share but brags about anyway. Not that you're entirely sure what your haunt actually does for a living to begin with. Something to do with human resources, maybe? Needless to say, we'll be laying off the little surplus as soon as the fitting replacement is found. The thing is, we need that replacement fast. Company has a big business deal coming up. We can't afford to be short on staff right now. Luckily, I happen to know a certain someone in dire need of a job. And this position happens to be entry-level. No major qualifications needed. It even comes with a sterling letter of recommendation from yours truly. Now, this won't be an easy job. Supervisors are very strict, and the anxiety as a way of following you home. But so long as you nail the interview, you're basically guaranteed a stable income for as long as you need it. Smina Corp isn't fun to random layoffs. So about it, sweetie. Shall I schedule something for you? Ever set up an interview? Pronto. Okay. High stress environment or not, it beats homeless by a country miles. You agree to your aunt's offer with revenue's insistence. The woman breathes a sigh of relief and lets out a nervous laugh. It almost sounds like she's in ecstatic disbelief.
Binge Matani.
Thank goodness, you have no idea what it means to hear you say that, dear. You're literally saving my life. What? You should probably be the one telling her that, but you won't complain about receiving gratitude instead of judgment for once. Without missing a beat, your aunt hammers at the computer keyboard, drafting you an email. You clamber your way out of bed, tripping over the old takeout and mounds of dirty underwear as you rush towards your laptop.
Enjo Kateme.
I've booked the earliest appointment I could possibly find. You should get an email with the time, address, and job description soon. Be sure to read everything carefully and do not be late. Mr. Burgard will skin me alive if I send him another unpunctual idiot.
Penda Vachuku.
Oh, and make sure not to mention that old depression nonsense during the interview. I hate her. It might make Mr. Burgard think he needs to fix you. Fix you? Rather than offer answers, your aunt whispers a farewell.
Penda Vachuku.
Good luck, sweetie. I hope you'll forgive me for this someday. What? The line goes deadly silent, save for a droning dial tone. You get an urge to call her back, but the ding of an invitation appearing in your inbox catches your attention first. Oh. Your interview is today at 4 p.m. sharp, no less. You curse under your breath, rushing to shower and get dressed. Your stack of rejection letters gets knocked over by your charge and scatters across the room in a whirlwind of standard issue responses. You beg with every fiber of your being not to come home with a new failure to add onto the pile. Chapter complete. Proceeds to waiting room. The waiting room. The packed full city transit bus comes to a creaking stop right in front of an old building you've never seen before. Shoving your way past crowded commuters, you step onto an empty sidewalk. The vehicle roars away, fading into the misty afternoon and leaving you utterly alone. You briefly wonder if getting off here was a mistake. You review your aunt's documents, poring over the civic number, street name, and postal codes, as thought every character were deciphered to some secret codes. By the time you finish your third revision, you're forced to concede. This must be right address. But it's not remotely what you expected. There's the unnerving facade. Glazed grey brickwork and pale veining marble units to form a vast web of extravagant monochrome patterns. But despite all the details, the sum total still gives off a sense of cold, calculated purpose. Almost like an anarchic graffiti artists were hired to redesign a palliative care center. What? As you climb the front steps, a set of circular gold-tinted portals stares down at you. They are unblinking like the eye of giant deep-sea squids. The glass is too opaque to see through. Yet you suspect someone is on the other side, watching you approach. Made from half-ton hunks of glistening cast iron, the double doors have been decorated with an intricate bas-relief of skyscrapers swimming in fog. Bit ironic for such a stout little edifice. Shaped like a crowded king's severed head, the object is so lifelike you're scared it will be warm and wet to the touch. Unfortunately, you see no keypads, handles, or ID scanners that would allow for easier entry. The local branch of Smyrna Corp is only 4 stories tall, yet feels impossibly imposing. It's caught between outdated aesthetic and timeless sensibilities, somehow both outrageous yet invisible subtle, as if meant to be forgotten at a passing glance and to haunt those who gazes linger. You suspect you may be underdressed. Your clothes aren't filthy, of course. If anything, they're rather chic, or at least they used to be. Neither time nor depression have been kind to your apparel. For all the class your best outfit once adds, overuse has worn it down to a discolored, teared bare husk. Meanwhile, lack of money, motivation, and belief you're worthy of nice things has prevented you from buying new clothes for the better part of 2 years. Hmm. Regardless, what you got will have to do. The hour of your interview approaches, and you won't have cash to afford a better outfit until this job is yours. Reach for the knocker and bang it against the door. The bronze object booms against the iron gates even harder than your thumping heart. Heart, I mean. Moments later, something clicks and latch comes undone. The doors groan themselves open, inviting you inside. You step into the building and are greeted by what seems to be a five-star hotel reception area. The room is utterly massive, with high ceiling akin to a Renaissance church cavernous belly. Its windows let no sunshine through, and no fluorescent light bulbs fill it with their pale glare. There are just low-hanging chandeliers and an array of green glasses banker lamps, bathing the room in burnt orange. Unfolstered sofas and coffee tables dot the space like islands, forming a winding path that leads to the room's distant depths. There, a woman stands behind a desk, flanked on each side by grillage elevators. The sharp machine gun clatter of her mechanical keyboard echoes across the room. I really like how descriptive this is. It's like exactly like reading a book. You appreciate the old and analog, but Smina Corp's apparent fondness is downright ridiculous. Hopefully the receptionist won't feel the same way about your subpar outfit. Pretend to be confident, stride over like you own the place. Adjust your crappy clothes and meekly approach. If you actually get this job, your first paycheck will be spent on a less humiliating shirt. The dim lighting becomes dimmer the further you go, and thick shadows close in on you like claustrophobic walls. Wall-to-wall carpeting squishes under your feet, and an unfamiliar ammonia aroma assails your flared nostrils. Whatever they use to clean the place smells strong enough to double as a bioweapon, but still isn't enough to erase the lingering stench of cigarette smoke. The off-putting odor does suits the outdated decor, however. On your left. Headless nude bodies are contorted in pain, as veins sprout through their skin like a tree's sprawling roots. A bleak rendition of what you assume to be Babel's tower has been built out of steel, gilders, electrical wiring, and bones. You see human skulls whose scalps have exploded, revealing interwoven helices of DNA strands and binary codes. What happened to good old-fashioned gargoyles? Unsettled by your surroundings, your eyes drift back to the woman working the reception desk. There are letters engraved in wall above her, spelling out a slogan in twinkling silver fonts. Memoria perpetuitas mutatio. It seems like I spawned a demon somewhere. Anyways. You don't know much about corporate branding, let alone Sminer Corp's specific suite of service. But you're not sure how effective that cryptic slogan must be. You opened your aunt's documents. Oh my god, I can't. Your aunt's documents would have provided insight. Instead, they were mostly full of vapid statements about connecting modern business with industry-leading talent, or some such variation of standard corporate stripe. You wave hello to the receptionist, but she doesn't even flinch. Her gaze remains glazed over, wholly focused on her work. She's younger than you first thought. Maybe 30, like not quite. Sickly pale, with sleep deprived bags under her eyes, each one darker than the acrylic of her tidy black turtleneck. Her hair is knots into a dainty bun, her fingers devoid of polish of rings. They move across her keyboard like demented tap dancers. Wait. No, not her keyboard, her typewriter. It's a really, really old one, made from brass, black plastic, and way too many moving parts. A relic from the 18th century. Wow. It looks like it barely scraped through both world wars. And you thought your laptop was getting old. You also notice a small desk bell glimmering on the counter next to it. Maybe she's a secretary, not a Victorian era maid. Just say hello like a normal person. I ring it. A pleasant ting resounds like the clink of champagne glasses. The woman's head snaps forward as thought struck by an electric shock. She flashes you a beaming, not quite pearl-white smile.
Anapaoki.
Ooh, okay. Welcome to Smeaner Corp. Do you have an appointment? The words barely seep through the woman's gritted teeth. Her grin is so tight it hurts to watch. But there's no trace of frustration. She's the dictionary definition of too friendly made uncomfortably manifest. Unsettled, you stumble your way through an explanation of your aunt's referral. The receptionist replies with a nod, squinting, and she reads the writing on her typewriter latest sheet.
Anapaoki.
Oh, of course. We've been expecting you. I'm afraid Mr. Burgard is running a little late this afternoon. We'll need a few more minutes until he's ready to speak with you. But you're more than welcome to peruse our visitor handbooks while waiting. She gestured to a set of nearby couches and a table shock full of company pamphlets. But you're more surprised to notice someone else already sitting there. A young man with a bitter look etched into his forehead face. Could this be another applicant for the job? Shit, your hunt never mentioned competition, and if they turn out to be competent, you could be in big trouble. You blink. Most things are cut short by the receptionist's unpainted nails tapping at her name tag.
Mitagamoko.
I'm Melusine, by the way. I'll call you as soon as Mr. Burgard becomes available. In the meantime, please let me know if you have any questions. With a grateful, albeit embarrassed nod, you walk away and slump into an old-fashioned sofa. Melusine's customized typewriter clacking away once more. The couch cushion feel quite stiff, or maybe your stress clenched back does. Considering the ferocious stare down you've received from the stranger seated across you, it could well be the latter. The steady tick of vintage clock draws your gaze. Its ends pointed opposite direction. 3:42 p.m., 18 minutes left. You think you came early, you still have time to prepare before your interview, but probably not enough to do everything you want. You'll have to decide where to spend it carefully. Strike up a conversation with an irritated man. Okay. Yes. Time to break the ice. Hopefully it won't be very thin ice you seem to be standing on with this guy. You take a seat next to the stranger, introducing yourself with a smile. Rather than ease the tension, the man scolds as if you were a clump of dog shit clinging to his shoe. His snarling voice sounds coarser than a poorly maintained gravel driveway. The hell do you want? Can't you tell I'm not in the mood? Well, if you couldn't tell before, you certainly can now. You gulp audibly, worried the person might assault you at a moment's notice. But as you stammer out some vague apologies, you notice something surprising. Doesn't look at all that angry, let alone angry at you. In fact, he mostly looks fretful. The man's calloused hands aren't balled into fists, but kneading each other with relentless worry. Sweet beads at the temples of his receding hairline, wearing down the hair gel, matting down his star-black looks. I can't talk. One of his legs shudders visibly, his foot stepping the floor with breakneck tempo of a mad-addled punk musician stopping a drum pedal. It reminds you of Melusine. He has the same not quite 30s face, same darkness, baggy tired eyes, same snug black turtleneck kept tidy as a military uniform, but his name tag reads Miliano. Wait, name tag? It eats you, then, that Emiliano isn't a company client, nor a prospective candidate after the same job you are. He's Sminner Corp employee. Maybe it's the guy that her auntie was talking about. Look, pal, all your staring is giving me conniptions. Either speak up or back off, alright? But alright, everyone. This is Inhuman Resources. I'm quite intrigued to how this will end, but I will leave that for you to test out this game. So if you like interactive fictions, and this is an horror one, I'm pretty sure that we are stepping in into a, I don't know, a madhouse or something like that. Really creepy vibes from that that woman. But yeah, everyone, this is Inhuman Resources. I do hope that you enjoyed the video playthrough. It was a lot of reading, and unfortunately I'm kind of with the flu, so my throat is killing me. I apologize in advance for something, but thank you so much for watching, and please consider to subscribe the channel. It helps tons what I do here. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.